everyone! Time really does fly. It's almost the end of November.
I can't believe it. With just a few weeks to go, I'm sure all of you have already planned your holiday destinations for your upcoming vacation.
But if you're still thinking of how or where to spend your break, this episode is definitely for you.
Plus, an inspiring conversation with a power couple. All coming your way
Today on Modern Living TV.
Thank you so much for welcoming us to your beautiful home.
Of course.
Really, really beautiful. So first of all, how long have you guys been together and married?
Well, we've been together for almost 8 years and then married for 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. That's great. And you know, most people say, okay, when you're married, you know, you gotta give up all your own stuff on the side. You gotta do everything together. You gotta plan everything together. And you guys are completely the opposite of that.
I think in the beginning of our marriage, because we were going through the honeymoon stage, we were doing everything together. And then as you know, as marriage goes, as the years go by, you sort of fall back into doing your own little things so that you don't lose yourself in the marriage. So I think that's how, that's where we are right now in our marriage.
I don't know what she's talking about. As far as I'm concerned, we're doing everything together.
Yeah, I'm tagging along to all of his Iron Man, you know, adventures.
Right, exactly. I know they're a bit extreme, and maybe dragging her along or dragging the family along might be a little extreme, but it makes me feel better, you know? I like it. I prefer it that way.
I mean, he went to the North Pole
I
to
know,
run.
I know.
His life was in danger.
I had to go with him to make sure that, you know, if he called for help, I'd be there to save him.
If Vic has his marathons and Ironman training, then Maggie isn't one to be left behind when it comes to seeking for new adventures. As we all know by now, Maggie and her good friend Parul Shah represent the country in the newest season of Amazing Race Asia.
But the tough part about it was, of course, not being able to talk to Vic or talk to Connor or even see them. Because while we're racing and while we're filming, we don't have our phones on us. But it was something that I wanted to do for myself. In fact, I asked Victor to do it with me first, but he said no. So I told him, I'm doing it anyways, whether you like it or not.
How did you feel about that? I mean, 6 weeks is a long time. Wow.
I mean, while she was gallivanting around Asia
I
and
was
everything.
not gallivanting.
You know,
we were doing tasks and, you know, we were stressed.
I was the houseband, you know,
houseband.
holding everything together over here. Yeah.
No, but it was perfect timing because he was training for his first full Ironman in Barcelona. So while I was away filming, he was busy training. So I guess it worked out.
It worked out.
Schedule-wise.
While most men might be a bit uncomfortable with the idea of letting their partners be away from home for such a long period, Victor sees things in a different light.
If she tries to make me too much like her or I try to make her too much like me, it's really not going to work out. You know, eventually someone's going to push, right? So we do need our own identities, but so long as those identities are compatible, right, together.
I mean, if you think about it, we're into quite similar things. It's like one extreme to the next. We're both very fit, we're both very adventurous, and you know, we both like a lot of the same things, but again, they're also very different.
While both Maggie and Victor know the importance of letting each other do their own thing, the couple makes it a point to do a lot of things together.
We're blessed in the sense that our parents want to be very much part of.
Yeah, the Lolos and Lolas are
honest
super
life. So,
supportive.
you know,
They're
works
actually the
out.
ones kicking us out of the house. They're like, go,
that's
go on holiday,
Don't
leave him
come
with
back.
us. Exactly.
They're ours. Are there things that you guys like to do together here as well?
Well, if traveling is her thing, mine is more like the little things, right? I'm Mr. Come home for lunch, come home for dinner, right? So what's this? Do you wanna come for a midnight snack run? you know, with me. That kind of
snack. That sounds
Yeah.
like an awful idea to me, but that's awesome that you guys enjoy that midnight snack.
Yeah, we'll go to
run.
like the
That's so
pen to eat at midnight if we're feeling hungry. Little things like that.
Right.
And yeah, and we do have lunch together almost every day.
That's nice.
And that's sort of always been our thing, even since the beginning, even before we got married.
You know, this is a big mistake that many couples do. Like the man throws himself into work, right? And then the mom is always taking care of the house and everything. And then they forget time for themselves and for each other.
and I think a lot of guys are guilty of this, is that when they're single, they don't prioritize themselves as much. I mean, they throw themselves into their work, they throw themselves into their barkada time, they throw themselves into whatever, right? And they're always, you know, they're always on time for those things, but then they're thinking to themselves, you know, when I come home, whatever. So when they get into a relationship, I think the relationship falls into the, you know, into the whatever box for a while, you know, initially.
We need to train them a little bit.
Right, so we need a little bit of training, encouragement, or whatever. Then you realize this box, you really need to prioritize like everything else.
Do you have any advice for parents who are trying to sort of transition themselves into being two parts of a whole?
Of a whole. I think what you should always be supportive of your partner. So if your partner wants to go off and do triathlons and marathons, be supportive of that, because you know it's a great hobby. He's doing something that will make him fit and will make him live longer, and it's something that fulfills him.
And for me, I think with a lot of couples, they make the mistake that when they get married, one or the other thinks that they can change the other person.
Yes.
You know, that's not gonna work. If you fell in love with a person for who they are, right, then don't try to change them. Just work together with each other so that you can be yourselves and you can also be a couple.
That's super inspiring, and you guys take cue from these two, because you know a lot of couples they're like, oh no, right? They lose themselves, and then at least it's good to find yourselves again and still be together.
Tis the season to be jolly, but if you have not decided yet on where to spend that most wonderful time of the year, here are some ideas that will give you and your family a jolly, holly Christmas.